that was fun, wasn't it? Oh, here just a little bit later than I'd planned. But what can I say? What can I say? It finished Grimsby Town 1, Walsall 0. And let's say the right way around, Walsall 0, Grimsby Town 1. There we go. It finished tonight, and all I can say is I'm going to first give some praise to the opposition. They really were good tonight, Walsall. Probably, definitely our stiffest test yet to our start of the season, without doubt. The bescot is always a difficult place to go to. We can now say we've gone there the last 2 times and won. But fair play, I think they will be up. They will be around there, Walsall. I think that was really tough, and a standout performance for them. You've got to say it was Aidan Flint. But disappointing for them, but for us, David Artell called it probably our worst performance on the ball, which I've got to really agree with him. It wasn't terrible on the ball, wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't fluid. It wasn't as fluid as we have been in the first few games of the season, but like I said, and Artell said as well, but you're going to get games where you don't always play as fluent or as well as you'd like. And it was definitely proven to be that way this time round. If we look at the lineup for the Mariners, David Artell went with a 4-1-4-1. He went with Christy Pym in goal, Harvey Rogers, Doug Tharm, Cameron McJanet and Jaden Sweeney, with George McEachran as that sitting midfielder. What a man he is. Dara Burns on the left. Kieran Green. I'm going to say more about Kieran during this review. Evan Corey. Charles Vernon on the right hand side, with Jace Cabia leading the line. And this game was it was a real good game by 2 good sides. By 2 real good sides, and it was a game that I think Christy Pym needs a lot of plaudits for this, because the couple of shots he had to save were pretty dangerous. He parried one within about 25 minutes of the game gone. He parried it nicely away, comfortably away. And again, his distribution was absolutely superb. Made a couple of ones that didn't hit their mark this time. The first couple this season, really, for Christie. But his shot stopping prowess really came into fruition this time around. He made another cracking save as well. He made 3 or 4 cracking saves. We'll talk about the goal that was disallowed for Walsall as well. A player that I also want to give credit to was Jaden Sweeney. Always looked dangerous, working alongside Vernon. Again, still trying to use that width, which we did for, it was about 70 minutes or so. Really, before we made a sub, I think Artell felt something. Rogers, another solid solid performance as wing back, real solid performance. Again, didn't they put a foot wrong? Doug Tharm seemed to get his head on everything that he possibly could, was making it very difficult for Warsaw's players, although they did have a couple of good chances. Like I said, that shot, I think it was by Lakin, early on, that Pym parried away, and then the follow-up was he had a double save where it was a cracking save to sort of punch it away, and then when I think it may have been Warrington for Walsall, rather than trying to chip it over Pym, he didn't. He tried to go through Pym with the shot, and Christie with a great double save there, really, which was something that we knew Christie Pym was a good shot stopper, but he definitely showed it tonight. Burnham, another good performance on the wing, made it very, very difficult for Walsall's defenders. Although fair play to them, you know, that they defended well as well, Walsall, with the amount of pressure that they put on. Jay's KBA is an absolute menace to defenders at the minute. Even made Aidan Flint have to think. Couple of the chances that he had, we got a corner, to be fair, early on in the first half that we shouldn't have got. It's from a Jay's KBA shot, and if you do see it back, we got a corner, and obviously it raised over the bar. The referee gave a corner. I looked. The Walsall defender didn't even touch it, but that was a break for us, really. Jay's kept being a pain, really being a pain. We kept trying to find that ball over the top. When we did try and play through a couple of times, I know Kieran tried to play a few through balls, didn't quite get them quite right. They were intercepted by the Walsall players, but we tried and didn't quite manage it. But obviously Jay's attempt then, what we're talking about, was cleared off the line by Aidan Flint. Corey, the goal came in the second half. The first half was fairly even. I wouldn't say either side really bossed it. I would say in the second half, Town came out a little bit stronger in the second half. No changes were done at half time for either side, but the goal came from after Christie Pym making a spectacular save. We then went on the attack for one of them, and Jay's had a great shot which got a bit of Roberts, didn't quite happen, but got denied by Flint on the line. But Corey, again, great work as well, I've got to say, by Greeny again, because that header at the back post for the goal brought back on by Greeny felt a lot like Waterfall. It felt like a Waterfall header at the back post for it to fall for Corey, and Corey slammed it in the top of the net to get the goal. It was a very, very lively second half as well. Town kept coming and kept coming, They did have, to be fair to Waksall, they had a cracking shot just before Town's goal, which smacked the crossbar, and Pym was nowhere near it. Pym was absolutely nowhere near it, and it was from Dan Cox, and it was an absolute belter. Hit the bar, unfortunately for them, but I think it just it was just Town's night, and such a vital early win in the season. The Mariners not as good on the ball as we've been in previous games, but off the ball, the work rate from the lads was phenomenal, and to get a win against a very very tough place to go, which Waksall is. If we look at just a few stats before we finish, the Mariners had 54, nearly 55% of the ball. But again, one thing I'll just mention on that, very patient, very didn't rush. When they played at the back, in previous seasons when we've tried to play out from the back, it's been kind of rushed and hurried. This time now it was okay. If we have to sting out of things, we would do. And we ended up obviously with more of the ball, but Waksall are used to that. Waksall don't have the ball a lot of the time in their games, but we did create 15 shots to Waksall's 11 and 5 on target to Waksall's 2. But Waksall had more touches inside our box, 23 to 16. Their goalkeeper made 3 saves to Christie's 2, but 2 cracking saves as they were. Same amount of fouls committed, 6 corners to Waksall's 4, so we had that there. We had more attacks, 15 to 11, more shots on target, which means also the same amount of shots off target. Attempts out of box, the Mariners were 9 to 4. We both hit the woodwork once. One-on-one attempts, which is the one that Vernon really should have put away, even though Hancock for Waksall did go down. It looked like a severe injury for him, but he did go down, but it wasn't a head injury, so the referee could play on. And Vernon couldn't find the net one-on-one, unfortunately, but that didn't stop us in the end. Total offsides. We were only caught offside once compared to Waksall's 3 times. And overall, if we're looking at the passing, Town made 400 passes, and 70% of those passes were accurate. Backwards passes 51 to 41. Forward passes 170 to 115 Town's favour. Long balls 79, 73, but everything has a purpose. It's not just being aimed anywhere, it always has a purpose. Successful final third passes, Waksall had more, 84 to 71. And they had more crosses. We only had 9 crosses in the entire game to Waksall's 23. So you can also see why they would feel a little bit hard done by. Only 9 crosses for the Mariners. But in the end, it all gave us the vital 3 points in front of 5,619 and a great, I believe it was at least 500 again. The Mariners travelling on a Tuesday night to Waksall, and obviously someone had picked up on the evening. I could hear them. I could hear the support. Obviously, wasn't able to get there myself, but boy, I could hear them singing and edge of the seat stuff. And what a start for the season for Grimsby Town. And I suppose the good thing is that we're not just relying on one player. We are getting goals all over the place, which is really, really good. And what a finish by Ev, can I just say that? But if you look at the quality as well that we're able to bring off the bench, we didn't have that last year. We're starting to get it this year. I said to a friend of mine not long ago, even though that's the case, I'm not getting carried away as it's only August. But, 10 points from the opening 12 points available. Town line second, guys. Very, very early on. The only team that has a better record at the start of this season is Crewe, who, to be fair, surprised a few people, really. Crewe, considering the way they finished last season. They've started like a house on fire, just like the Mariners, really. And all I can say is we roll on. And it also shows how serious we've took these league games, which everyone would have been thinking, Man U's got to be in the back of their minds. Well, I'm sure it is for the lads. It's bound to be. But the way they've took on these games prior is credit to them. Being real professional, which I know David Artell would have nothing but that. But that is because their heads could have been turned and could have focused more on Man U for a lot of the players. But fair play going to Waksall and getting a very, very important 3 points. And all I can say is I'm beaming. I'm beaming with a big smile on my face. Can you believe it? We've won 3 of our first 4 league games, and that basically means 4 of our last 5 games in general. We've actually won, and that's a good result because we didn't do as well on the ball as we would do in other cases. If you did go to Waksall, leave your thoughts down below for me and let me know what you guys, made of that. How did it feel in the stadium? Because I'll tell you, from watching it from home, I was nervous because Waksall were good tonight. So let me know down below your thoughts on what you're thinking and what do you think of the start of the season so far. Like I said, we have to sort of maintain ourselves, our best start in the league since 1990. Obviously, and you think of it going that far back. Wow, that's when Neil Woods was in the team and all. So, and all the great players back then, the Gary Charles and things like that, that were in the side back then. I didn't hear the unfortunately the Humberside commentary, but I do know James McEwen was on that as well. So if you did hear that, let me know how you think James did in commentary. Very, very good to him. I did hear his pre-match thoughts. But leave your thoughts and comments down below as the Mariners head second after a hard-fought battle against Waksall. It ended once again, ladies and gentlemen, Waksall 0, Grimsby Town 1. We head second. I'm going to head to bed. And I will... no, I won't. I'll stay around for a bit. I'll chill. But I will see you guys for a preview very, very soon for the next one. What I will do though, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to start doing, adding this in September as well, I'll just before I finish, take you through the scores of the evening. Newport County 0, Salford City 1. Salford with a very, very good victory at Newport. Accrington and Tranmere was postponed because of Tranmere being in cup competition this evening. Bristol Rovers 0, Oldham Athletic 0. Bristol Rovers still can't buy a win at the moment. A battling draw for Oldham there. Cheltenham Town 1, Bromley 2. All I can say is things aren't going well for Cheltenham so far. Colchester 1, Cambridge United 2. Crawley 1, Milton Keynes Dons 1. Fleetwood Town 1, Crewe Alexandra 4. I'll tell you, that is a tenant for the books for Fleetwood, that. But 4-1 for Crewe. Gillingham 4, Chesterfield 1. Talk about a tenant for the books. There's another one. Gareth Ainsworth with a smashing win over Chesterfield. Harrogate Town 1, Barrow 0. Harrogate's great start to their season as well continues. Swindon Town 0, Barnet 2. Barnet get their opening win of the season at Ian Holloway Swindon. That is another turn up for the books as well. I don't think we would have picked that one out on early form. So that is the results from the evening. That is the review done. I do want to give credit to the ladies before I finish. The ladies did have another pre-season win. Made it 5 out of 5 again at the weekend. The girls are flying, the guys are flying, everybody's flying. Let's enjoy it, shall we? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell me how good they are. Tell me how good I am. Tell me how bad I am. I don't mind. There we go. And I will see you guys in the preview for Saturday when we head towards Accrington Stanley. Until then, guys, up the Mariners. And I will see you next time. Up the Mariners, up the Mariners. Sing with me. And I'll see you guys later on. Ta-da for now. Bye-bye.